Oh, hi. Just working on a little piece for my new album. That piece is called The Silence Beyond Sound. It's part of a work that I'm doing. It's a collaboration, in fact, I'm doing with the Leningrad Philharmonic Radio Orchestra and the illustrious musicologist Professor Kennedy. Welcome to my little musical loft here. This is my little where I get all my best inspirations, and I work them out, and then we go into a full studio, and then we lay down our tracks, and that's where the real magic begins. But it's up here where I get my inspiration. Now here, as you can see, I'm just doing some work on the keyboard, but of course, as you know, my forte instrument is of course the electric guitar, and it's on this instrument that I'd like to do today's little musical seminar. Hi there, you rock and rollers. Buzz Felcher here, and I'm here today in another little podcast to pass on some more hints and tips that I've accrued along my long and winding road down this musical path that I call a path, but a musical one. So I'm just going to play you something. I think you just may recognise this one. Have a listen. Yeah, that's right. That was the opening aria to my very first opera, Felcher. Yeah, and of course we all know how that went. But I could never have done this particular song, and in fact the success of the opera owes a lot to this. I'd previously to that been unable to learn how to do a sustained hammer-on technique. Now, a hammer-on technique, for those who don't know, is where you sit with your guitar, you take one of your index fingers, and you very... Now that's what we call a hammer-on technique. It's used, of course, a lot in shredding, a lot musical shredding. Not paper, that old wood shredding. That would be like pulp. Yeah, this technique it's used quite a bit. You know, you'll find it in all the major. I used it in my very first opera, Felcher, as you of course will remember. And basically, this technique, as I just demonstrated there, all you need is a bit of feedback, a little bit of reverb. You're sitting on your amp or on your pedals to well, I've got mine on crunchy. That's not like the chocolate bar crunchy. It's the one doing it. It's like metal, but they call it crunchy. Yeah, so anyway, this is called the hammer-on technique, and like I said, I used it perhaps a bit too over-liberally in Felcher. But you know, I was youthful, and let's face it, with the sales I had, I think I got away with it, yeah. So, anyhow, and this technique is very simple. But you, like anything though, it's baby steps, isn't it? So you've got to start slowly, and then gradually you get your finger muscle memory, and you gradually work it up, don't you? Of course you do. Yeah. So what is this technique then? Well, I'll show you. You take, obviously, I'm in the key of G, and you take one of your other fingers on the same hand, obviously, although you can alternate it, so you can go, but you know, at this stage that would just be showing off, and that's not what this particular, I do actually cover stage techniques, and showing off is a particularly good one, so please be sure to tune in and try and catch that one, because that is going to feature in a podcast very soon. Now, so you have your finger, like I say, my first finger is in the key of G, and then you take one of your other fingers, whichever it is that you feel more comfortable with. In my case, it's probably the next finger, except for one. So it's that finger there. That one, look, it's that finger, yeah, can you see that? So that's, but you know, for you it may be that finger, you know, so for some it might even be that, but that'd just be a bit weird for me. Anyway, so for me it's that finger, yeah. So first finger in G, and now the second one is up on the 8th fret, right, and this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. You've hit your first chord, it's in G. Where you gonna go? I'll tell you where you're gonna go, mate. You're gonna go to A, but not for long. And when you've gone to A, where you gonna go to? Back down to G. And when you've been to G, where else are you gonna go to? Back up to A. And as you can see, this is a bit of a repeated cycle, it's a pattern. Now you can start off slowly when you're first learning, as I did, as we all must, right? Yeah. And then gradually you can learn to speed this technique up. So I'll just give you a quick demo. G and A. So G A G A G A, that kind of thing, yeah. G A G A G A, and then now we work in a semitone, and then we can do a little. Oh, now that sounds a bit clever, don't it? Yeah. Well, it's not really. It sounds clever, but it's quite simple. All it is. See, so now you think, well, that's all right, but you know, it's not very. Well, it's just not very good, is it? But people say to me, yeah, okay, so you've got that, but you need a bit of oomph, don't you, Buzz? Well, that's what Buzz. That's where I'm here to show you. So here we go. This is what happens when we apply those techniques and combine it with the deadly force of finger speed. Not bad, eh? And that all goes back to just this very simple G-A, G-A. And like I say, it's either with that finger or with that finger. Sorry, but that end, like that, or like that. Yeah. Now, so, one more time. And I'll do it slow and then we'll go a bit quicker, see how we get on. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's warming up now, it's getting proper tasty, yeah? Right tasty, yeah? Oh yeah, you feel, oh. Oh mama! Felcher, baby. I want a fresh, baby. I want a fresh, baby. Versus throughout the lane. My name's Buzz Felcher, and I hope this has helped you. I'll be back with more little podcasts with hints and tips that I've been taught by some of the masters over the years. And remember, you crazy hip cats, keep jiving.